What's going on? What's going on? I don't know. I'm in the silliest mood today. People is funny. I mean, excuse me. I felt like shit the last few days, but I'm back. But I tell you what, man, it's amazing to see all of the nonsense that goes on in this community, and that's why that's why I really haven't been doing as many videos and everything, just trying to concentrate. What's going on, bigger built bullies? Concentrating on shit that matter, man, because most of this stuff don't even matter, But I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how y'all do it. We got all these grown-ass men, supposed to be grown-ass men, making memes about each other and talking shit about each other. I don't got time for that. I don't know how you can have time for it. When we get to talking about dogs, and that's what I'm going to talk about a little bit, I like to talk dogs, but, so a lot of y'all like, man, what's up with this and what's up with that? I'm going to be honest with you, with trying to make sure that what's going on, Kawhi? Trying to make sure that our office is opened here, in the next 3 to 4 months. And, the other stuff, I don't have time to sit back on this damn computer and argue with these people, I guess the aftermath of the TBKC Nationals is a lot of what some people want me to talk about. And I'm going to tell y'all like this, man. I think from the outside looking in, what's going on, Brian Robertson, my brother? I'm going home to do an AI on that crazy bitch in a minute, man. She up there, she won't let these boys mount. She want to bite them every time. Brian Robertson sent me a damn Tasmanian devil. She tried to fight the motherfuckers to death. Every time I'm telling you, it don't matter what boy come around sniffing. I'm like, oh, God, what is wrong with you? You know what I mean? I'm used to the bitches that toot it up. They ready to get their freak on, not her. So, I got the AI her. Either that or have a dog with a bit up cheek. You know what I mean? Denmark, man, I hope to get out there. It's going to be beautiful once we get this office open and can really start moving. Rex, what's going on, my brother? You know it. Always much love to you, my brother. I tell you, though, in dog terms, I mean, ABKC Nationals, from what I seen, y'all excuse me because the Wi-Fi is trying to grab my signal. Brian says she like it rough. Oh, yeah, she going to have to get it rough. Duct tape her ass or some shit. What's going on, Corey? Get with me when you ready, man. Get with me. You still got that repeat, brother. Get with me. But I tell you what, you know what I mean? We can't be offended by what we see. Now, if you ask me about the best in show, I'm going to start off right at the top with the best in show. I like the dog, man. And I think if we're going to call ourselves a multi-breed registries and different things, we have to get used to the best dog winning sometime. Just because these registries are based, and started from the American Bully doesn't mean that we owe the American Bully anything. It's one of the reasons why I brought in so many very nice breeds is to raise that bar, you know what I mean? We can't expect for these titles to be handed to us just based off of our breed, The American Bully breed does not get a pass. The American Bully breed does not get an automatic win at any of these shows. It's unfair for us to ask other communities to come in, whether it's the Shorty Bull, the Odie, whatever it is. Everybody should have a fair chance when they come in to get the ultimate title, which is the best in show. And I think what we have to get past is preference, because preference is only a good thing when preference is, what's going on, David, Amanda? Walter, what's going on, my brother? It's only a good thing when our preference is within the standards, and our preference is towards, the good parts of the standard. Where we fall off in our preferences is that we believe because something is popular, that means that it should win. That's not the case, and we lose a lot of dignity. And I'm going to talk about some of these things real quickly, but the dog that won, I'm just starting this off the right way. It's a nice dog, man. Nobody should have a complaint about that dog that won this show. I see this, excuse me, it's this coffee makes me burp for some reason. I don't know. I don't even like coffee, but I'm trying to stop drinking energy drinks, so here we have it. But you know, as we look at it, you know, that dog was a very, very nice dog, very, very good conformation, a beautiful dog, you know. And I mean, now we can debate how he was in his standard, but if you look at the dog, his angles were beautiful, very straight up and down dog, just a pretty dog, man. No one should really have a problem with that dog winning. It was obvious that probably from the first part of the show, and when I judge a lot of shows, you know, I see a dog in earlier categories, and I already know that this dog is going to be there at the end. And the only thing that sometimes you see a dog and, you know, right off top, I missed your message, Dave, but you know right off top that this dog is probably the front runner to win the show right from the top. And that's not saying that you're biased. I don't want y'all to think that, like, okay, he just seen a dog and he automatically, no. But as a judge and with your trained eyes, and I know whether it's Skip or Danny, we got a lot of good judges and experienced judges, you know, you can see right off top when you start seeing the dogs. Some dogs are going to immediately shine, and you're like, ooh, here he comes. You know, and it sort of becomes a thing of who's going to perform the best, you know, and what is the small nuances. You know, you see them from a distance, but maybe you have to start looking at the eyes. Maybe you have to start looking at the teeth, and, you know, maybe you have to check the testicles, and whatever the small nuances of this dog is, that's the way it's going to go down. My brother, Mr. D. Navoa, in the house. Hey, I got to call you. We got that contract in Jersey pretty much done. 8 shows, brother. 8 shows. And I need you because everybody wants to see you. Y'all, I'm going to make sure y'all stop calling me and asking me about when is Danny judging the show. Danny, and y'all going to meet his lovely wife, Margie. We going to get them out on the road this year coming up. Danny got a ton of knowledge, so he going to help y'all out with a lot of things. He's a super friendly dude. If you like when Skip Miller was out there, you're going to love when Danny is out there, because Danny will talk dogs with you all day. He'll break them down. He'll break down the history, you know. Real personable type of dude, man. You know, that's why my brother, and I love him to death, because having judges like that helps out a lot, because it's not just a simple explanation when you say, oh, your dog don't have breed type. Nah. You know, we got some people who are going to go into this thing and tell you what's the differences and the nuances. Now, talking about differences and nuances, the most controversial thing of the Nationals that I seen was the dog that won the championship. I think his name was Samson, maybe. And I mess up a lot of names, man. You know, I mess up a lot of names. We're going to get to Trinidad very, very soon. We got some hookups in Trinidad. But this year for sure. We'll be in Jamaica at least 3 times. I'm hoping 4 times this year. 2020 is what I'm talking about. But this is the thing. It's some shots that are very telling. And I picked the bear, and it doesn't mean that I have the end-all, be-all. And you know, I'm not the greatest dog person of all time and all of that. But I will stand behind my pick of why I said I believe the bear should win. And several of us said that. You know, Skip Miller seen the pictures, and Skip said the same thing. Belinda, you know, Moore as a judge, she said the same thing. I believe Danny, when he saw some things, he liked the bear in there. I mean, everybody I've talked to that I trust their eyes, you know, when they saw the bear in pictures, you know, with the dog that won, it was sort of evident, you know. And this is where, you know, your credibility as a judge comes in. I'm going to break it down. If I was at the end and how I was doing comparisons, this is where things would have been, well, see, Ashley was there, and I trust Ashley. Ashley, if y'all don't know Ashley, she handles all over the place. You know what I mean? She knows dogs. She's AKC. She's everywhere. So she knows dogs. And a lot of people in person said it was obvious too. And where the big difference comes in at, for me, I'm only going to speak for myself, nobody else. The big difference that I seen between the 2 dogs, and what I believe is the driving force behind this controversy between the 2 dogs, is one specific thing. Front shots. Y'all can disagree with me if you want to, but front shots, depending on preference, these dogs were pretty evenly matched. The bear has a beautiful front. You know, I believe, what's his name, Samson? And if I'm messing up his name, y'all let me know. But he has a nice front, man. I looked at him from the front, and from what I could see from the front shots, I was like, okay, these are 2 very solid dogs from the front. I had no problem with the front shots. You know, very bully. what a lot of people call breed type. The breed type was on point with both dogs. Both dogs were, pretty solid in the front. I didn't see any twisting of the feet or anything like that, which I've seen the bear a million times. I believe he's one of the, honestly, I put the bear, and it's just my thing, I put the bear as one of the best dogs in the breed's history, from what I've seen as far as what the breed is supposed to be. He's a very, very complete dog. Now, the front shots, we were good. It's when you turn the dogs to the side that the argument becomes very, 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 very strong in the bears. Let's just be honest. The bear has a nice side shot. He's very thick through the rib cage. He's very proportioned, and when I mean proportioned, he doesn't have a long back. And that is important, height to length ratio is very important in every breed, That's why a Dachshund is a Dachshund. A Dachshund is supposed to have a long back. If you get a short back Dachshund, he's not a Dachshund, The dog that won, Samson, appeared to be a little longer in the back than we would like. He also seemed to be sway back and somewhat high reared. The bear didn't have these qualities. Now, people say it was certain shots, but when I seen the video, it was the same thing. It was the same thing. And this is the thing where I think it becomes this lingering controversies, because we can all see these things. We all look at these dogs and we all like, okay, you see these dogs and you see one is very long back and the other one is shorter back, and one has everything that you would probably want from a side shot and the other one doesn't. So what is the determining factor that makes you pick the dog who seemingly has the weaker, the weaker set of attributes from the side shot, and the movement in the videos to the other dog? And this is why there's a debate about it, because to be totally honest, and I think if we went over this and we broke this down, and even if we had a good panel of judges, I've been seeing a good panel of judges. Everybody that I've seen, and people that I trust, including, like Brian Robertson, I lean on him because he's out in the streets all the time with these dogs. Ashley, I would definitely, hit Ashley up and ask her opinion and respect her opinion. Because as you see, just in the comments, she can break a dog down. I know she knows her dogs. Everybody that I've seen there is just like, man, it really wasn't a great contest and that the bear should have won. And to be honest, this is 2 out of 3 years that we said this about the bear. Now, it was sort of closer, I think the Bus was a third place dog the year the Bus won. I forget the other dog that was in the ring with the bear and the Bus at that Nationals in Chicago. But the bear looked to be the best dog then, and then he comes back and he wins it, and then again. So I think the bear, with a sad asterisk on it, I think the bear could have very well been our first 3 times ABKC Nationals champion, and it would have been no arguments. I think, if it's going by my judging and what a lot of other people think, he was actually robbed out of 2 of the 3, That's just it. Oh, man, Tristan, I know you ain't no hater. You always try to, you like us, you want to see the best dog win. I just, it was strange. Now, I think we can all agree on that situation, and it's one of the reasons why people come away with a bad taste in their mouth. I heard the judge made him work good, and I think the judge did itself a disservice because he made him work good and he made some things very obvious and he didn't see them, because you see, I saw a lot of video, and it's just like, I think he just dropped the ball on it at the end because a lot of other stuff he did was great. Now, another issue at this show, this is the part that I hate to get into, but it's blowing up my inbox. It's something that I heard went on at the show. And it's another thing that's always going to make, the ABKC discredited. I heard that what went on is that Roy Jones Jr., great boxer. I'm a big fan of Roy. He's always going to be on my top 10 of boxers of all times, but he's at a dog show. His dog wins some stuff. And one of the problems with his wins is that he got the dog from Bashar. You know what I mean? And Bashar was heard on the sidelines saying, you're going to win this, this, and this, and then we're going to take pictures. And this ain't come to me from 1 or 2 sources. This is from 3 different people that told me the same exact story. And I know at least one of these people don't deal with the other people. And he was there. And a lot of people have complained but didn't talk about this story. You know, the Roy Jones dog did win. You know, the things that Bashar said he was going to win. Then he turns around and Bashar, you know, in his classic fashion, skinny jeans and his tank top, you know, takes over the show. He walks in the ring, stops the show to take pictures. You know, literally, you know, everything stops because of Bashar. And he walks in the ring, you know, and I tell you what, yeah, Danny, wow is correct. And a lot of people have said this. So if it's a lie, I'm only reporting what's told to me. Like y'all say, y'all know I can't get into the show. They're going to call the police on me. But this is what was told to me by many people, that they felt like it felt set up. It felt very, very set up. And, you know, for Bashar once again to take over the ring when he's supposed to have nothing to do with the ABKC, and his dog somehow he can guarantee wins and then stop shows for picture opportunities and stuff. It's a very, very much, it's definitely nothing against Roy Jones Jr., man. Like I say, I got mad love for the brother. I even like him as a commentator and this shit. He wasn't much of a rapper, but boxing and commentating, I love Roy. But it's a sense of professionalism that you have to have. And to those of us who go to these shows and spend our own money, work hard with our own dogs, to see a celebrity come in and be given, you know, all of these taps on, you know, pats on the back and different treatment, you know, well, I seen the dog, and I didn't say his dog wasn't the worst. I didn't say that. You know, I never said that his dog was the worst. The dog has a beautiful front. I didn't see him from the side. He's a very big, wide dog. That's not what the issue is here. The issue is that, you know, this is a dog show. At the AKC, do you think that they would stop a dog show no matter who it is? There's plenty of celebrities who show their dog for AKC or have their dog shown. And when their dog wins, they don't stop the show and bring them in the ring and, oh, yeah, this is such and such and this is such and such. You know what I mean? Jessica Alba has dogs, and, you know, all kind of celebrities have dogs, you know. And some very celebrities and very, very rich people, especially with the AKC, have show dogs. You will never see them like flaunt the person and bring them in the show ring and stop the show and do all of these different things. That leads to you know what I mean, to a whatchamacallit, you know, that leads to a situation. It leads to a situation that gives you the appearance of unfairness. It leads you to a situation that continuously asks, a situation that's been asked for years, is what does Bashar have on the ABKC? Why is this man allowed to go in and out of the ring, take his dogs when his dogs won't show, and he'll jack them up and bring them around the ring after one dog literally rolled on his back and refused to show? You know, he jumps in the ring, which is automatic disqualification if you switch handlers in the middle of the show. But he comes in the ring and he can escort his dog around the ring, and they still get a dog the damn first place ribbon. Then we continuously see this over and over again, the things that he's doing. And it's nothing like I say, it's nothing against Bashar in this situation. It's something against the ABKC. Like, why do y'all allow this? You know, because then you wonder why people are saying that it's something unfair going on, and it's something unfair when we see some of his dogs that are obviously not good conformation dogs. You know, we see them win. Then we see people who have made complaints about their DNA testing not being taken care of properly. And it is what it is. You know, Wanda, they say he has nothing to do with it. You know what I mean? And if you're a silent partner, he's not very silent when he comes to shows and just takes over the show and does whatever he wants to. You know, and this is one of the problems. If you're a silent partner in the ABKC, this is one of the reasons why I'm producing dogs again. Danny's producing dogs again. We would never put our dogs personally in the ring to compete under our own registry. You know? That's just not, and this is one of the things that people are complaining about. You know, you see certain little cliques and certain people doing things, and these shows tend to look set up. Until you take away those things as preferential treatment and run it straight across the board as a professional setup, and not certain people are celebrities, and you can, you know, and I'm not talking about Roy in this thing, but I'm talking about when you make certain individuals that's just inside the dog community, it seems that they can do whatever they want to. You know what I mean? it's rough. And you know, and that in itself is just is totally nonsense. When you talk about they want that muscle tone money, I unfortunately had a meeting canceled yesterday, but I'm meeting with the CEO of an up and coming Fortune 500 company. You know, actually he's one of my friends. You know, we met when I very first started trying to do websites and stuff. He's a tech geek, but you know, we've had conversations, and he takes that term as a positive term, by the way, the tech geek. But you know, and one of the things, you know, in talking and getting a feel for what we're trying to do with the TBKC, and him helping us arrange our office and set up and total things, is this one of the things he talked about is you cannot alienate the whole base, you know, of everybody that follows you for one or two people. The thing of it is let's be realistic. It's only a 1%, if that, amount of people who are willing to spend crazy prices on dogs. It's probably less than that. It's probably less than 1 out of 100 that's willing to spend $10,000 on a puppy. It's even more, way less than that you're gonna get somebody to spend $25,000, and it's incredibly less than that you're gonna find some crazy motherfucker to spend, you know, $100,000 on a dog. So when you take these people who have spent big money and you try to turn them into instant celebrities, they own and run everything, you know what I mean? Now what you've done, and this is why we see that everybody would agree, if you've been going to shows more than 5 or 6 years, that the shows are getting smaller. You've alienated everybody else. You've alienated the hardworking man or woman who's putting in a ton of work, and their dollars count, and all of the preparation that they've put into their dogs and the years that they've put into their dogs. You know what I mean? It is what it is. We haven't really tried to do anything with Castro yet, by the way. Me and Danny are probably just gonna do a lot of freezing, because we're making some bitches that are made for Castro. Yeah, we love Castro, trust me, and he will have his time to shine. But in our process of breeding, and I'm a little bit off topic, I'm gonna jump right back on. In our process of breeding, every dog has a certain way that they're supposed to be bred, and currently the bitches that we have aren't the certain way that we want Castro to be bred. So you know, he'll have his time. You know, his time might be when he's dead and gone. You know, but we gonna keep on pulling him, and his semen is good right now, so his time is coming. But you know, it's a certain type of bitch that needs to be bred to Castro to make an ultimate type dog. But you know, the thing that's going on, and this is why our community is sort of getting smaller in a lot of ways, and you seeing people lose interest in this thing, is no one likes that feeling that you mean nothing. And this is something that, you know, honestly, me and Dave talked about years ago. The ABKC, the American Bully community, was built by the people, you know, for the people, by the people. It was, you know, the whole origins. Y'all even heard Dave talk about this in interviews. Is one of the biggest things about the American Bully is that we were not the type that you had to wear a suit, or that you had to, you know, step your game up. You could literally come out in a t-shirt with some nice jeans on, or some shorts, and you could just show your dog. And the reason why people gravitated to our community is because this community was for everybody. You know, church people could come out here, hood people could come out here. It didn't matter. Cats from the suburbs, you know what I mean, they were still out there. It was like a ton of people. You would have Bloods and Crips, you know, different gangs. And I'm not gonna name every gang, but you would have gang members that was on different sides of the fence that would typically have beef and not want to be around each other, and they would all come out to a dog show, and we would be out there and we would be doing our thing. Well, now what has happened, and what I continuously see happen is that you have a certain group of people that gets preferential treatment. You know, the only, you know, all of a sudden, you know, like I said, all of a sudden when certain people, I'm not going to even give them a name shout out, but when their dogs start selling, you know, selling good, all of a sudden what happens is that wow, they're a superstar. Their dogs start winning shows that they probably shouldn't win. And this is why we have those debates, you know. It can't come off of who your dog is off of to make your dog important. It can't be how much you paid for your dog to make your dog important. Y'all excuse me, coffee got me spitting now. But it has to be straight up who has the best dog in the ring. We're teaching people that it's a certain way the dog should be judged, and a certain thing that we should look for. And with all these teachings of what we should look for and all the things that we should do, we're not following those rules. This is why you had a controversy at Nationals. And then when you throw it in their face to bring certain people into the ring, and You know, y'all excuse me, like I said, I've been feeling a little bit under the weather, so my voice might get groggy, super groggy. What's in the cup? Coffee. I don't even drink coffee, but because I think I had like a short little flu or whatever, but I'm gonna need me some extra caffeine to get in here and do a workout or whatever. But the cup just looks bigger than what it was because I'm closer to the camera. It's about 30 ounces. But you know, seriously, it has to, you know, if we're gonna ever make this thing the right way, it has to get back to being just about dogs. You know, it shouldn't be, and like I say, y'all, I know some idiots go, oh, he hating on Bashar. It's not about hating. Bashar can be who he wants to be. You know, all these other breeders who push dogs out left and right for a ton of money or whatever, you know, more power to them if you're getting your money. But in that show ring, it has to be held sacred. You know, how much a dog is sold for, how popular a guy is, has nothing to do with that show ring. Once you come in here, you know, you can be as popular as you want to be, but you better manipulate the system to make sure that your best dog is getting in the ring or you will lose. That's the way it's supposed to be. It's not hating on anybody. If the breed is to ever be taken serious, you know, that's the part that has to matter. You know what happened? And it's not to say, and y'all, and you know what I mean? And y'all don't take it, you know. Yeah, I've been hearing that, Ashley. I've been hearing that, you know. I've been hearing that, you know. And maybe it's just not as bad as the ABKC. But, you know, if we're going to ever get to a certain level, man, when we go to the Best in Show, now, a lot of people cried about the Best in Show winner, which I didn't. But if we're going to pick the most popular, you know what I mean, if we're going to pick the most popular dog all the time from the American Bully, then how in the world are we going to ever compete with the other breeds? Because 99% of the time, the other breeds are going to send their best dog in the ring. And those breeds are very, very refined, so it's going to be very hard to beat those breeds, you know? It's just that simple. We're going to have a hard time beating these people who are pretty much, you know, it is what it is, you know? It is what it is, you know? And we have to get to a point that where it's, you know, we have to get to a point to where it's fair across the board. If it never gets fair, we never have a chance. You know what I mean? It's just that simple. This is competition. Everybody who goes into competition, most of the time, is willing to lose, you know? Castro is, how old is old Castro? Castro is either 7 or 8 now. Still big and healthy, still biting shit, and Danny's slinging him over his head, and semen is good, but that's why we doing a freeze on that dude now. It's coming to the end for all of them, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna say all of them, but a lot of my boys is getting old. Denzel's getting old, you know what I mean? He won't be around too much longer, you know, but that's the circle of life. I'll be very sad when my old man goes, you know what I mean? He's slowing down a lot, but you know, 12 years is a good life, especially for a pocket dog, you know. So hopefully he get 13, 14, 15 out of it. But, you know, they live a good life. But, you know, I tell you what, you know, fairness is going to be what gets us here. You know what I mean? Yeah, Ashley, it's time, man. That 7 to 8 year old, it's definitely time. You got to get them. I'm gonna tell you that that wheat germ oil, man, that stuff is raising the semen count great. I hadn't used it before. Tito from Mercado Bully Supplies hit me to it, and man, I hit Mandela with some, and it really shot his semen count up. You know, so I'm gonna go ahead and run Denzel and run the rest of the boys, but shit works. Natural product, you know. You know, we just got to decide what we want to be as a community. Do we ever want to be taken seriously? That's it. Do we ever want to be taken seriously? I want to see us be able to get in there with the best dogs in the world and do our thing, but we can't continue to do this show, you know. Everything is about marketing, you know. This is a marketing community. Just market, but it's not a lot of quality anymore, you know. And you know, and I've often said the saddest thing that we've done over the past few years is we had at least 2 very, very gorgeous dogs that we could have pushed and promoted as to what our breed was supposed to be, being Mufasa and the bear, you know, and we didn't push them, you know. We decided to push dogs that had issues. We decided to push dogs that had exotics behind them. We decided to push train wrecks. We decided to push everything except for what was a great representation of our breed. And not saying that this was done intentionally, but at the same time, I would have loved to see the bear be a 3 times national champion and make a great statement for the American bully community. A great statement that this beautiful dog, this very, very complete type of dog is what it is, And instead, we have more controversy. 2 out of the 3 nationals, controversy. Last year, when the bear won, you didn't hear controversy. You know why you didn't hear a bunch of controversy when the bear won last year? He was the best fucking dog. You know why you heard controversy the year before? Because he was the best dog and he didn't win. The reason why you're hearing controversy this year, he was the best dog and he didn't win. So if we can learn from history, our history is telling us that if we pick the correct dog, or at least, one that it can't be debated, we won't have so much controversy after a show, We won't have so much. Oh, Dave, that Denzel blood gonna kick in, man. I'm acquiring more Denzel blood as we speak. I got a lot of shit going on, man. It's a blessing. It's been too long, man. Too long. But, I just wanted to touch on that, y'all, man. And, don't nobody give up on the struggle, man. We got to keep on showing. We got to keep on doing what we doing and just push healthy dogs, man. Show ring is nice. It's nice to get a ribbon. It's nice to get the acknowledgement or whatever. But ultimately, that ain't really what we're here for. We're here to make this breed better. Don't judge your success by a ribbon. You know what I mean? Don't do that. Judge your success by your product, what you see, what you're doing with your dog. You know what I mean? And I tell you what, and you asked this before I was about to log off, coming in with your late ass, Nathan. But it's recommended on the thing, Kathy, before I get on Nathan's ass. But it's recommended on the bottle that you give. Like Mandela gets 4 teaspoons. It was saying a teaspoon per 25 pounds. Now on Amazon, I end up getting a full gallon of it for just $24. So that can go a long ways, you know what I mean? But I was giving them 4 teaspoons. I give him 4 teaspoons in the morning, 4 teaspoons at night. Basically, when I feed him, I give him his 4 teaspoons, and it did wonders on his coat too. The coat shined up for me. His skin is looking real good, and when he went in to get pulled, saw a nice jump. I'll tell you that much. A nice jump, and a lot more fluid to it. Because for a while he was very, very. I guess we talking dogs, but it was very dense. Like he was only giving me like maybe 4 cc's, but very dense, like thick type semen. And now he's filling the thing up. This time he went up to 10 cc's of good fluid and the semen, and and the count was elevated. The motility was actually a little bit better, even though he had always been around 90% motility. So it's pretty strong, So he went up to I think 93 or 94 motility this time around, and he had a higher count. So it was, but yeah, the wheat germ is cheap and it's, it's effective. Anytime I get advice from somebody, especially that runs a store I want to see, and and when I was up there, Tito was telling me, he said, man, this is it. He said, forget everything else, check out this, and it works, man. It works no matter where you get it from. Tito sells it and he'll send it to you offline or whatever, Mercado Bully Supplies. But wherever you get it from, it's some good stuff, man. Good stuff, That's who I'll probably be getting mine from, Tito. I just had a credit on on Amazon that I needed to use. But you know what I mean? Nate, I'm gonna tell you the problem is this. And this is gonna probably take me another 5-10 minutes, but the reason why it's important to those people, and we know what I mean when I say those people, to down and to make it seem like it's a terrible, terrible thing for the American bully to not be the winner, and they look at that pit bull, look at him, he's, that's just a pit bull, is because they've always had this thing of where they want to call dogs reindeers. They want to down all of the clean dogs, and that's really a marketing ploy. It's a way for them to get into the unknowing minds to say, you know what I mean, that clean dogs are bad. You know, healthy dogs are bad. Beautiful conformation dogs are bad, no matter what the breed. The only thing that's good is our, you know, overdone, you know, very, very imperfect structure-wise dogs. If they can keep that narrative going and they can keep shaming people into believing that the only dogs that are good is their beat-up dogs, that's what they're going to do. That's their way of getting people to look past conformation issues, look past DNA issues, look past all of the issues that we know come along with those dogs. This is the way that they can do it. My man Jesus always talks about diverting, and that's what they do. You know, I mean, we see things that's right in front of our face, like I told y'all. You know, we see things right in front of our eyes and we ignore it because they'll divert the conversation. Just like the fact of, like, we talk about when we talk about you know what I mean. No, I don't really do dual sires. You know, I just try to pick a bitch and, you know, use that one sire. Only time I did ever have a dual sire was when basically two of my boys stuck the same female. So then I had to do the DNA testing for a dual sire, but other than that, no. But you know, I mean, man, it's so much with these dogs, man. But one thing about it is we are not picking the cleanest dogs. And until we do that, you know, we sort of falling into the shame of what they're doing. And then, you know, and their shame game is just, you know, a way for us to look away from what's in front of our eyes. These dogs should be conformation first, you know, health first. But, you know, I mean, and I've said this a million times, and I don't give a fuck who gets mad. I mean, literally, you know, we have, you know, one of the more popular dogs in their whole entire breed, and people brag about this dog. And if you look at his pedigree, his grandmother is an exotic. But they still call him an American Bully. They actually gave him an American Bully Nationals championship. This is how screwed up our community is. You know, this is how screwed up our community is, you know. I could go on and on and on about certain people, but I won't do that. But, you know, it's a lot of so-called big breeders that's got a lot of bitches who've had puppies on their first heats. You know, 6 to 8 month bitches that's already ready to have puppies, you know, but we allow it. You know, there's a lot of people who've basically lost DNA challenges, but because they're popular, the registry ignores it and don't want to enforce it. You know, it's one of those things. And until we get to a point where all rules apply for everybody, including in the ring and outside the ring, our community is never going to be shit. Because we're allowing popularity to control the narrative. Popularity, of course, means money, and that's controlling the narrative. It's not about who has the best dog. No one who's seen that dog that won that show should have a problem with that dog. It's a pretty ass dog, very clean, very, very nice dog. You know, a dog like that wins the show, you applaud it because, you know, that was the one thing I feel like that they really got right on that show. It's a beautiful representative for your dog show, not your breed, but your dog show. And he was a very nice dog. But hey, man, I'm going to sip this coffee, man, and it's time to work out and get everything else done for the day. I'll be calling a lot of y'all, man, but God bless y'all. Y'all stay up. Peace.